In response to rising cyber threats and high profile data breaches, Google has announced that it will require all Google Cloud users to enable multi factor authentication by 2025. Starting this month, users will receive reminders to implement MFA with mandatory enforcement beginning in the new year. This policy shift is aimed at protecting against unauthorized access through stolen credentials and aligns Google with other cloud giants like AWS and Microsoft, which have also moved to enforce MFA. Google says that this requirement addresses heightened security risks in enterprise cloud environments where sensitive data remains a prime target for cyber attacks. But Google's approach to MFA has been, let's say, interesting to date. Jack, what do you think of this story?
Well, I think it's a little late for Google to be waving the MFA flag and say, hey, really need to do this, oh, sometime in the next year, right? We've known for 4 or 5 years now exactly how effective MFA is at preventing identity and credential breaches. And it's just a little late. I think that Google and the rest of the cloud providers should be doing security by default, not security by option. And what I mean by that is when you start and create an account or a service, that service or account should be completely locked down and be as inaccessible and hard to get access to as possible. And it should require your active participation to remove security controls to make it easier to get access to. So I think all accounts should be, and I mentioned this in an earlier story, that MFA should be a mandatory requirement. And if you're not enforcing that, you should find another job. I think Google needs to turn this on immediately and force their customers to take the pain of configuring it for all of their accounts immediately, because it will prevent the pain, much greater pain down the road, from not having MFA and getting your accounts breached and your data stolen. And that's a huge financial and reputational and organizational risk for most organizations. A couple of years ago, AWS went and said all new S3 domains will be by default inaccessible from the internet rather than default accessible. And it's those types of things we need to start enforcing today across our entire cloud footprint to prevent security problems down the road. So I'd really like to see Google get on the bandwagon with everybody else to say security is on by default and you actually have to actively turn it off in order to make your account less secure.